Igboho ìkan ṣe yín ní dábọ̀dàbọ̀ ìkan ní mọ́ rọra ìkan tó kù nígbà tí wọ́n ò mọ̀ Igboho mọ̀ rẹ́ kí ló dé Igboho mọ̀ rẹ́ sí ọmọ òpópó sanran ìgbàgede Igboho sùn wọn láláìsí bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ́n ní kó ní bẹ̀rẹ̀ ó máa kó bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ ẹ̀sìn òní bímọ méjì ní Igboho mọ̀ rẹ́ bẹ́sìn bá bímọ méjì ní Igboho àfikàn pọ̀pọ̀ sí amúkan yòókù bọ̀ sànyà àtúmúyà rẹ̀ tí ò lọ́rọ̀ gbọ́ àfiṣẹ́rù wálé wàràmùjẹ́ ọmọ onílé ọ̀la àwọn àjòjì tó ń ṣe ségesège tọ́láwọn ò ní bomi kó sí mu wọ́n láwọn ò ní bomi sànyà wẹ́sẹ̀ ìgbà tójú kò fi rí ńkọ́ gbogbo wọn náà sáré bomi kó sí mu wọ́n sì bomi sànyà wẹ́sẹ̀ ọmọ abẹ́rẹ́ mẹ́ta òde ayé ọ̀kan ṣẹ́ ọ̀kan tẹ̀ ọ̀kan tó kù ní gbogbo ayé fi ránṣọ kiri gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá Sunday Igboho onírẹ̀lẹ̀ láéláé torí àbá lásán nìkan ń dá òkúta ò ṣe gbé fún wọn o ìmọ̀ràn lásán ni ti balùwẹ̀ kò pọ́sibú kó dòdò láyé ń bí ó kún díẹ̀ títọ́ domi láéláé ìtọ́ mi lè domi Sunday Igboho arógun má ti bí tó ń jà fẹ́tọ̀ Yorùbá ní tilé tó kó ọmọ Ìbàràpá lápapọ̀ ẹ̀jẹ̀ adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àkí ọmọ Yorùbá lápapọ̀ tilé tó kó ẹ̀mí àbọ̀ ẹ̀bá nǹkan mọ́ Adéyẹmọ Chief Sunday Adéyẹmọ Igboho orúkọ ńlá tí ń jámọ́ láyà bí ara orúkọ tó ń dẹ́rù bó lórúkọ gan-an ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ má sùn o torí pé bùrà a kò lè fojú kégbodò láyé títa ríro lẹ̀dá ń kọlà wúrà tó máa dán alànà kọjá dandan o ọ̀wọ́n irin ní má bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ̀nà ẹ̀dá kan lè ṣì wá lọ́nà mọ́ ẹjẹ́ àfìmọ̀ṣọ kan ká lè débi re ẹjẹ́ àjọ gbárùkù ti Sunday Igboho ṣá ọmọ Igboho mọ̀rẹ́ nílùú Alágbàdo Òde ọmọ atapẹ̀tẹ̀ wọnú omi ọmọ gègèlè wodò sànyà ìsànyà ò rẹ́ràn bàbá yín láàrin ìdí omi kò sì náà ń kán sí yín lẹ́nu ọmọ òkúta mẹ́ta òkè Igboho ìkan ṣe yín ní dábọ̀dàbọ̀ ìkan ní mọ́ rọra ìkan tó kù nígbà tí wọ́n ò mọ̀ Igboho mọ̀ rẹ́ kí ló dé Igboho mọ̀ rẹ́ sí ọmọ òpópó sanran ìgbàgede Igboho sùn wọn láláìsí bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ́n ní kó ní bẹ̀rẹ̀ ó máa kó bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ ẹ̀sìn òní bímọ méjì ní Igboho mọ̀ rẹ́ bẹ́sìn bá bímọ méjì ní Igboho àfikàn pọ̀pọ̀ sí amúkan yòókù bọ̀ sànyà àtúmúyà rẹ̀ tí ò lọ́rọ̀ gbọ́ àfiṣẹ́rù wálé wàràmùjẹ́ ọmọ onílé ọ̀la àwọn àjòjì tó ń ṣe ségesège tọ́láwọn ò ní bomi kó sí mu wọ́n láwọn ò ní bomi sànyà wẹ́sẹ̀ ìgbà tójú kò fi rí ńkọ́ gbogbo wọn náà sáré bomi kó sí mu wọ́n sì bomi sànyà wẹ́sẹ̀ ọmọ abẹ́rẹ́ mẹ́ta òde ayé ọ̀kan ṣẹ́ ọ̀kan tẹ̀ ọ̀kan tó kù ní gbogbo ayé fi ránṣọ kiri gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá Sunday Igboho onírẹ̀lẹ̀ láéláé torí àbá lásán nìkan ń dá òkúta ò ṣe gbé fún wọn o ìmọ̀ràn lásán ni ti balùwẹ̀ kò pọ́sibú kó dòdò láyé ń bí ó kún díẹ̀ títọ́ domi láéláé ìtọ́ mi lè domi Sunday Igboho arógun má.
Bọ́dá ìlànà àgbà lẹ́bí blújà jágámọ̀ láti ìbò ọ̀gá tí wà tó bí ìbábi túmọ̀ ìbábi túmọ̀.
Ilá abilà ni wọ́n sí ẹ bá mi ṣí ẹ̀ káàkiri bàbá dámì la ṣe yìí fún mi. Yoruba nation now no going back. Yoruba nation now no going back. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Akí gbogbo wa a kú gbìyànjú a kú kó lè dá Ọlọ́run bá Allah á jẹ́ kó dá fún wa inshallah rahman. Olóyè Sunday Igboho náà bá yọ wọ́n níwọ̀n Al-Qur'an Karim ọmọ Adéyẹmọ Igboho ṣá o owó bàbá àdámì o mẹ́sàyà mẹ̀kúnnù ni Jésù àsìkò tiwa nìyẹn ànábì Muhammad àsìkò tiwa nìyí o àtiwọ́ tó fẹ́ o owó bàbá àdámì o ìránṣẹ́ Olúwa ni àkàndé èèyàn ni ẹkùn tágìrì gbéra ẹni jà ní à ń lé bọ́ lẹ́yìn jagunlabi ńlára wájú gbogbo ara wájú tún pẹ̀rú kílẹ̀ yìí o bàbá dámì ni ó nífẹ̀ẹ́ mẹ̀kúnnù wo wọn balẹ̀ jẹ́ ó nífẹ̀ẹ́ mẹ̀kúnnù wo wọn daṣẹ́ rú ó nífẹ̀ẹ́ mẹ́kúnnù ó wọ́n bá gbogbo nǹkan ẹ jẹ́ ó sì ń sọ pé no going back kí o owó bàbá àdámì o gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ń ṣe lédè lẹ́yìn yẹn orí bá wà ṣó ẹ̀ dé kó o dé wá bá wà láyọ̀ o gbogbo nǹkan ni ẹ tó ti bàjẹ́ kọ́lọ́mbá wá dá padà ó làdìpèlé àdìpèlé re ọmọ má kú mọ́ ẹ lójú o káyà má kú mọ́ ẹ lójú àwa ta ní ìfẹ́ rẹ ó káwa gan máa yàn kú mo kí gbogbo àwa Yorùbá nation ìjẹ́ agúnlẹ́sẹ̀ bùtẹ́rẹ̀ àwa ń bẹ̀ ọ́ gbogbo ìjọba Nàìjíríà tí wọ́n ń rẹ́ wa jẹ wọ́n tún ń rẹ́ wa tà wọ́n tún ní kán máa pa wá Ọlọ́run dákun wá gbà wá o wa ò lẹ́ni tá a lè ké pè mọ́ ìwọ lolùbọ́ tó lè bá wa ṣe Ọlọ́run wá ṣe ìfún wa o ká lékún ọpẹ́ o la hawla wala quwwata illa billah ẹ bá mi ṣí ẹ káàkiri bàbá dámì
kí ló kà kí ló wí kí ló ọdọ kí ló àwọn ojú ọ̀rọ̀ sọmọ Nàìjíríà òdùn àwọn oníyàlẹ̀ kí ló kà kí ló wí kí ló ọdọ kí ló àwọn ojú ọ̀rọ̀ sọmọ Nàìjíríà òdùn àwọn oníyàlẹ̀ kí ló kà kí ló wí kí ló ọdọ kí ló àwọn ojú ọ̀rọ̀ sọmọ Nàìjíríà òdùn àwọn oníyàlẹ̀ kí ló kà kí ló wí kí ló ọdọ kí ló àwọn ojú ọ̀rọ̀ sọmọ Nàìjíríà òdùn àwọn oníyàlẹ̀.
I'm moving on to the final segment of the travel. 810 at God closures, 8316 closures, 84 closures, Central London Red Rose closures, 821 serious delays, 841 serious delays, and South Circular 8205 serious delays as well. So as I will say all the time, well. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you, wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your commute for today. But you know what? Continue to keep those eyes on the roads.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clemens, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Energy to do. I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness of darkness.
So what did that?
Myself and the world will adjust. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Welcome back to the program Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. It's now time for Global Trotting.
Oh Lord, no one who is to come will lift our voices and say,
Okay, so from the Nigerian front, the simmering leadership crisis rocking the All Progressive Congress for several months took a different dimension on Monday in Abuja, as most of the governors were said to have abandoned the chairman. Well, this and a lot more going to become your way. I remember we touching on that yesterday. And top of the story, yes, Chief Sunday Igboho has been released. What is the next move, and what does that say for those who are advocating for a breakaway from Nigeria?
look at me, know what you say.
There's a lot more we're going to be looking at in the next few moments when we have Miss Olayomi Kojo on.
Lift up your voices and say, Jesus, Jesus.
Right from the UK front,
You will never fail. Just the same. Yesterday, today. Take a look at me, the one you say.
UK can and will do more for refugees. Minister said the UK needs to speed up the processing of visas for refugees from Ukraine, says the Defense Secretary. And Zelensky is to address UK MPs in Commons. The Ukrainian president will speak via video link to British politicians. Posted was going viral. I mean, you listen to what he is saying, and you ask yourself, all the delays, if you're going to help him to fight whatever, somebody will say, because if you cited him, why don't you help him now? Why are you delaying? Well, we'll be looking into that story as well. And one in UK faces biggest income squeeze in 50 years. The one in Ukraine will lead to an even tighter squeeze on living standard this spring, a think tank is saying. How true is that? Well, wherever you are, you find out that your bills, some of the bills that I received sometime last week, they sent an email. I looked at it, I'm like, whoops, gone more than 100% plus. Wow, which they were saying that's going to be about 51%, you know. Now, rescue of Bob set to cost taxpayers billions more. The buyer hasn't been found for the alien supplier, so the taxpayer will have to keep funding it. Oh my, oh my, oh my. It is Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Always the same, Lord.
Okay, moving on to some other stories making the rounds in other parts of the world. As you know, evacuation has begun from two besieged areas of Ukraine. People fleeing Sumy in the northeast and Irpin near Kiev as the number of refugees leaving Ukraine reaches 2 million. Doctors hope the pioneering procedure, believed to be a world first, marks a new chapter for transplant surgery. We'll be looking into those stories. I mean, while things are going on, other things are going on as well. A trial is due to begin in U.S. governor kidnapping plot. The four are accused of trying to kidnap Democrat Christian Whitmer due to her COVID rule. And the McDonald's and Coca-Cola also boycott Coke's grow. Food and drink giants have been criticized. Ukraine's Star Radio UK.
Put your hands together, come on.
The West fights against Putin, the disruptor. Now, several U.S. presidents have failed to get the measure of him, but now Europe has joined the fray. Things may change. You sure things may change? Well, those are some stories making the rounds there.
Hands together. We worship you, Lord Jesus.
Thousands of women in El Salvador. Now, the thing that measures that have been put in place so far, I mean, gives women equal opportunity.
Whatever comes.
Even here, where we have the Queen as the head of the country, we still see somebody say susuponing going on. But what more do you think we can do for our lady folks or our women folks?
We lift up voices
to bring them apart, or at some measure of they thinking that they are equal to us or equal with us, as some might say. What more can we do? I don't know religiosity. I don't know what will happen on that front though. But it's all Starr Radio UK. Sydney floods forced thousands to evacuate as well. So there's so much trouble in this world. And street preachers and their loudspeakers. Some want evangelists to make less noise when trying to convert people in Uganda's capital, Kampala.
Lift up your voices and say, Jesus, Jesus.
Okay, a lot more going to be coming your way from Ghana. Subsidizing fuel for industries, not economically wise, Kwabena Donko is saying. So what do you think government can do to reduce the pain, the pinch, where the final recipient of whatever goods and products is the one who's going to be facing whatever tightness or difficulty that is going on across the globe? I was advised against criticizing MPP government because they are vindictive. Whoa, how true is that? What's yesterday meant to have said that, hey, you know what? The economy is not that bad at all. But information coming through is saying that, well, he was advised against criticizing them. So he decided to praise them. Okie dokie do. Well, it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, this and a lot more going to be coming your way. Stay tuned, don't you go away. Enjoy the rest of that song. We'll be having Mr. Olayomi Kojo joining us in the next few moments.
My yesterdays and today. Take a look at us. Look at us. Do what you say. Hallowed be your name. With a grateful heart, come on, sing it out. Jesus, 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 oh, Jesus, Jesus, oh, yesterday, today. Oh, take a look at me, the one you say. Oh, we worship your name, Jesus. Hallowed be your name. Don't stop thanking him. Don't stop praising him. Jesus. You will never fail. You are just the same. So beautiful you are. Yesterday, today. Take a look at me. Take a look at the one you say. Oh, Lord. Hallowed be. You can't be tired to come. Lift up your voices and say, Jesus, Jesus, you never fail. I have said no one like you, Jesus. You are just the same. My yesterdays, today. Lord, take a look at me. Look at it again. Oh, Lord. Hallowed be. One more time. Oh, my beautiful Jesus. Come on. Jesus, Jesus, you never fail. You have never failed. You are oh, take a look at me, the one you say, the one you say, hallowed be your name. My Jesus, my Jesus.
This is Starr Radio UK.
You are just the same. My yesterdays and today. Take a look at them, look at us. What you say? Hallowed be your name.
Okay, so that is something from Elijah saying, hallowed be the name of the Most High God, giving thanks and praise to God for all that He has done for us. And if there is nothing that I can be grateful of, I am grateful that you are alive, you are well kicking, you are here to listen to us, watch us wherever you are. Those of you who listen to us on the African continent, I know it causes you an arm and a leg, but you continue to follow us. We are so grateful to you. We are so grateful to you, because without you, we will not be here. Okay, but at this juncture, well, I said yesterday night when I had that good news, when Yomi called me, I was like, wow, I think Yomi, now you have to know that I'm a prophet. So if you need anything, you need to come to me. I need to... Good morning, Yomi.
Well, it is sunshine. Good morning to you, Mr. Archie. 1 minute past 11 a.m. It's exactly the 8th day of March 2022. And it is always the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. And I welcome you again to all our listeners from around the globe. And as we continue to say, when we are live, we have a lot to be grateful. And we're back again this morning with quite a lot of news. But let's come back slightly again to you in the studio.
Yes. How are you doing, sir?
Well, I think it's been a very long night that I'm sure we could all expect, especially with the magnitude of the information that was coming out, from Benin Republic yesterday, that we had to manage, and also, like you did ask, how am I doing? A bit of short sleep, but we're still here, doing what we love to do, on Starr Radio UK, making sure that our listeners from around the globe in Kenya, Uganda, South Africa, Egypt, New Zealand, Australia, Japan, can be rest assured that this is the platform that can kick you to go on every news in the continent and outside the continent of Africa.
Yes, listeners, Mr. Olayomi Kojo for you. Now, interestingly, how our discussions went yesterday, we were looking at the fact that is there a chance that Chief Sunday can be released, and they were talking about NNAMDI, KANU, both of them. And then, boom, in the evening, then we have such a news coming in. Interesting.
Well, it was, just under 5 to 10 hours after we spoke, at 11 o'clock. And I remember, reaching out to you just before, in the evening, to give you the good news that Chief Sunday Igboho, has been released from the custody of Benin Republic. Yes, I remember you did ask that Buhari is currently in London on a medical leave for 2 weeks. He has handed over to the Vice President, Yemi Osinbajo. And I remember the question you did ask is, could there be anything that could happen or change now that Buhari is not in Nigeria, is currently here on a medical leave, and Osinbajo can kind of put a twist around the Igboho and MAZI NNAMDI KANU held in Nigeria? And what I did said was, as much as I would have loved to see a very good answer to that, but I saw that, APC is still one. Whether Buhari is out of the country or not, we do know that Yemi Osinbajo is a Yoruba man, but if he wanted to have done something, he could have done it for a very long time while Igboho has been held in Benin Republic and MAZI NNAMDI KANU. But yes, we can be grateful to those that will be given names later on when we go into details of the, release of the news from the statement, and likewise the excitement to all the millions of Yorubas from around the world yesterday.
Well, listeners, when I was greeted with that news yesterday evening, I remember we were watching telly, we were watching the news, and then I just rushed out, and then I just came back to my wife. I said, ha! So the way I was celebrating, she was thinking something. I said, yes, I'm happy because we just discussed this thing this morning, and lo and behold. Now, can you talk, give listeners, those who were not able to join you on the broadcast that you did that time, how the whole thing came about, where his whereabouts is. Well, we know that we might not be able to divert everything, but a bit of background to that. I've got a picture that you sent me, which I'm going to be posting there. Is it a current picture of when he was released?
Yes, Chief Sunday Igboho, if we go back to how and when and all this started in terms of, a man that was, almost killed, in his home on the 1st of July. So what I can confirm is that, yesterday, even though some of us have that inside information, but it was not information that had to go into the public domain, that there was a lot of work being put underneath by not just one person, but with so many individuals that were working. So let me first read the statement that came out from the leader of the Ilana Omodua, Professor Banji Akintoye, through their press statement yesterday. Yoruba Nation activist Chief Sunday Adeyemo Igboho released to Yoruba leader Professor Banji Akintoye and the French language expert Professor Adeniran by the Benin Republic government Monday, 7th of March 2022. The Yoruba Nation activist Chief Sunday Adeyemo, fondly called Sunday Igboho, has been released by the government of Republic of Benin. The activist was released on Monday to the Yoruba leader and the leader of the umbrella body of the Yoruba self-determination groups, Ilana Omo Odua Worldwide, Professor Banji Akintoye, and his deputy, a French language expert, Alan of Ilana Omo Odua, Professor Wole Adeniran. This statement by the Communication Secretary of Ilana Omo Odua Worldwide, Mr. Maxwell Adeleye Akintoye, described the release of Igboho as a triumph of truth over darkness in the Yoruba land. I'm going to come back again to you in the studio, but we also have to be very grateful to so many people that were also working behind the scene. We will be grateful also, according to a statement that we released as a spokesman also on behalf of Chief Sunday Igboho. He did say, and I quote, that we should be grateful to the Benin government for giving the opportunity for not denying, justice to somebody that has been held, for a very long time in Benin Republic. Also, we have to be grateful to Professor Wole Soyinka. A lot of people might be shocked, but we are not too shocked because we knew that he has spoken so many times on the issue of Chief Sunday Igboho, as saying that, most of the allegations against him are bulls and cocks, according to his word. Also, we're grateful to the lawyer, this Ibrahim Salami, that also work, and so many individuals that work quietly. Some do not even want their name mentioned in the public domain. What is the details of the release is what a lot of people are asking. We cannot go into so much of the details, but what we can say is currently he's in a secure place, not in the custody anymore, but the struggle to get him a better healthcare and medical treatment is still being looked into so that it can be taken out of Benin Republic as quickly as possible. But for now, he's still in Benin Republic, which we can confirm that, but in a very secure location. And we are also saying, once again, we continue to give the update of what we can give, because a lot of people really want to know so much, and so much has been discussed. Congratulations messages have come from far and wide, as far as China, Melbourne, Australia, New Zealand, Benin Republic, Togo, Sierra Leone. Yesterday sounded like a victory to the Yoruba people, and likewise, we also get congratulatory messages from the Biafran brothers and sisters that are also looking forward to the day MAZI NNAMDI KANU will be released, at least back to his own home, rather than in the hands of the DSS. I'll come back again to you in the studio.
Yes, listeners, some good news there, but let me acknowledge a couple of people before I ask you some further questions on that. Dairo Dangogode Benga, he says, well done. Amayo Ajegne, good morning to you, Yoruba Nation, no going back. Anthony Adedeji, thumbs up to you as well, and thank you very much. Continue to share the broadcast with your friends and lovers wherever you are. Now that he's been released, is it that he's been bailed, or the case has been quashed, so he's been released? He's free to, go wherever he wants to go.
Well, like I said, there's a little we can give in terms of the situation, right now. But currently, it was held, in what we can call a kind of a custody, where he has been put in for the last 7 months. But that is not the situation anymore. He has been released into the hand of the Alano, who the leader of the Yoruba movement, Professor Banji Akintoye. Remember, he said, and I quote, "I will not leave anything unturned," and that is the reason why he relocated to Benin Republic to stand firm, so that Benin Republic can have a very clear reason why somebody that has been pointed as a criminal is not a criminal. So what we can confirm is he has been released in his hands, but again, some of those details, it's not something that we can give too much. But what we can say is, yes, he has a freedom now where people can have, maybe a visit to him, but that will be something that will be reviewed as we go along as well. But we are not just sitting behind. We are still saying that it would definitely need to go for a good medical checkup outside the country, that I'm sure the legal team and the team on the ground in Omo Odua are working tirelessly so that it can get those clarity and then it can be flew out of the Benin Republic as quickly as possible for a medical treatment.
Okay. Now, we'll be coming to the reaction from the federal government, if any. But Amayo says that Chief Obafemi Awolowo, RIP, and Chief Sunday Adeyemo Igboho are infallible and indefectible leaders of the Yoruba nation. Okay. Let your reactions come through. Let your messages, whichever you have, congratulatory messages, whatever you want to say, feel free. You can put it on our Facebook page, and I promise you, I'm going to read that. Okay. Now, what has been the reaction of the federal government so far?
Well, there hasn't been any statement. I've been able to follow that, to see if the government will release any kind of statement. We do know that, the federal government, was the one that put out the name of Chief Sunday Igboho, into what we can call a system that wherever is found, it must, be brought to Nigeria. But as our father, Professor Banji Akintoye, have said, there's no reason for him to be taken to Nigeria in the first place, because this was somebody that was running away for his life. But the question is, if the federal government will respond to what has happened. Even the federal government has not put any charges, against him ever since he's been there for 7 months. All they've continued to say, which we've been listening, in terms of, the intelligence gathering, is they just want to keep him there till 2023. Because as far as the government is concerned, and some of the politicians back home, is that the longer Igboho is in Benin Republic, is out of their problem. But one thing is, Igboho was never a problem to any politicians. It was only demanding the insecurity that has engulfed the Yoruba land that the Fulani terrorists have been using as a carnage to the lives of millions of people. That was his only reason, that they were chasing him all over the place. But we'll probably be able to monitor and see maybe there will be any response from the federal government. But what I can say is, the federal government, about, say, a week ago, I don't know whether we were able to cover that, I've already challenged the 20 billion suit that has been asked to be given to Igboho at the court in Ibadan. That we can confirm. But the latest news as of yesterday, there hasn't been any response yet from the federal government of Nigeria. Well,
listeners, a bit of update from Nigeria and Benin, Republic of Benin, for the release of Sunday Igboho. Yes, continue to keep your messages coming through. I promise you that I'm going to definitely read that. Amayo says the cause for self-determination of Yoruba nation has just begun. What about you? Do you think that is now putting a new fire into that fight for self-determination? Or you think it's something that, hey, if we dare make any noise, they are going to come after us, and therefore let's leave the country, let's leave it for them. What do you think? I want to know your take on any of the issues that we are discussing at the moment. I have Mr. Olayomi Kojo in our North London studios. I'm Archie in the main studios here in Croydon. Now, let's move on quickly to the reaction of the fire that it puts in the wings of the IPOP group as well, because like you said, they've come to congratulate the Yoruba people with the release. But the question is, what is the reaction? Does it give them a bit of hope that some way, somehow, they might release NNAMDI KANU as well?
Well, Simon Ekpa said on Twitter, I have just spoken to my brother and friend Chief Sunday Igboho a few minutes ago on the phone. This was yesterday. I can confirm he is a free person. I must thank the president of Benin for his role in freeing Chief Sunday Igboho. The next is our leader, MAZI NNAMDI KANU. Congratulations to all my Oduduwa freedom. Let's now look at some of the reaction underneath that. MAZI NNAMDI KANU is next, according to, this Twitter handle at JB Ladipo. So, All Hail Biafrans, All Hail Oduduwa is coming from Jacob Steven at Jacob T8623582. It said, according to at Afabel, congratulations. So the question is, yes, these, might also kind of give hope that something will happen, something will change with the case of NNAMDI KANU at the Federal High Court. According to, again, free at last MAZI NNAMDI KANU, the Biafra Republic will soon be free. So there is momentum that, remember that NNAMDI KANU was kidnapped and renditioned just around June, or thereabout, and it was brought back to Nigeria from Kenya. It was not that long. Igboho's house was attacked on the 1st of July, and in just under a month after that, Igboho was also kidnapped. So there was these, kind of, feelings among these two, self-determination groups that are determining their way out of Nigeria in a peaceful means, that the most important people among them has been kept in prison, and that was creating a lot of what we can call, a remorse. But I'm sure with the release of Igboho yesterday, it will keep a momentum back, not just to the Yoruba people that still believe in the struggle, because the struggle continue according to the Ilanomo. Also give hope to the millions of the Biafrans all over the world that believe that the IPOB are fighting the right cause, just as the Yorubas are doing as well.
Okay, listen to Starr Radio UK. Fakorede Moses says, I celebrate with all Yoruba sons and daughters all over the world for the release of Sunday Adeyemo Igboho. Okay, and let's say congratulations and happy birthday to the Vice President as well. It's all Starr Radio UK, his 65th birthday. Okay, but now we're going to come back to some of the other stories making the rounds. Now, a question that I'm posing again to our listeners, those of you who are watching us from every part of the world. Do you think that with the release of Sunday Igboho, it now brings onto the table the cause for the referendum? Should there be a referendum? Let people determine whether, look, we want to be there. Look, we are fed up with what is going on. Look, we want to go. And then you say, okay, fine. If you want to go, and you voted for it, and you said that you want to go, get out of it. Or, what do you think? We want to know your take on that. But now let's come back to what is happening, or what was happening yesterday in Nigeria. And the first and foremost was the police present, the coordinating of the APC, and actually shunned the company of the chairman or the acting chairman, whatever he is. Can you tell us more about that story as well and the latest development?
Well, it seems, there's preliminary leadership crisis right now rocking the All Progressive Congress for several months, took a different dimension. Yesterday, when we came live, we did talk about, what we can call a security, operation at the Secretariat of the All Progressive Congress. Buhari left Nigeria on Sunday, but he must have put in some kind of different conversation or structure regarding, the chairman or the caretaker of the APC. But what we can now confirm today is, on Monday yesterday in Abuja, most of the governors were said to have abandoned the chairman of the caretaker and the extraordinary convention planning committee, Governor Mala Buni, who had been steering the affairs of the APC since June 2020. And I think you did ask that question yesterday. So that means he has been steering these, the rock on the boat of the APC. In an unprecedented move, the governor of Niger State, Abubakar Bello, who is the member of the caretaker committee, arrived at the APC National Secretariat just about 12 p.m. noon yesterday to assume the position of the acting chairman of the caretaker committee. However, there was confusion on the status of Buni in the party on Monday, as Yaya Bello told journalists that he was not aware of his position. On the telephone, said Buni remained the party chairman, adding in support of him. So that means there's a crisis at the moment, because if Buni is still claiming that he is the party chairman, and that will probably be resolved, or a crisis that continue to engulf before the president return back in another 2 weeks, because it's still a countdown that is just only arrived on Sunday, 2 days ago. The Niger State governor who arrived and amid heightened security present comprises about 70 security personnel with no less than 15. These are the kind of security that they give around these people, while millions of Nigerians are suffering from the lack of insecurity that has engulfed almost every part. But when asked in what capacity he was taking action, he responded, acting chairman of the APC, and likewise the governor of Niger State. I am the acting chairman and the caretaker. But it doesn't seem that is wild, because Buni is still saying, I remain the caretaker and also the Extraordinary Convention Planning Committee. So we now have two governors putting head together. One says, I am still the caretaker, while one of them say, I am now the new chairman. I did told you in February, there's no doubt about it, APC will be splitting into maybe not 3 or 4 different political parties before 2023. That's even if 2023 will ever come in place, especially with the pressure cooker that is happening in Nigeria as we speak right now.
The pressure cooker, of course. Political platforms to act drama rather than politics. A nation where injustice becomes the order of the day, such nation can never progress. That is coming from Amayo. Now, we know the formation of the APC. So it wasn't one party. I mean, they came together to be able to outwit the PDP. That's what happened, and they put Buhari as the leader. Now, do you think, as you've been saying that, look, there's fragmentation in the front, and therefore it's just a matter of time, and then the whole thing will just fall or just break down. Now, the vice president, which part of the group is he in? Is he for the acting chairman, or is he for which part of the group does he find himself in?
Well, I don't have a clarity of which side the vice president stands, but what I know is, there's a lot of confusion in that party at the moment, regardless of which side the party, of which side the vice president is siding on. But one thing we know is, Buhari, seems to be siding with one, whereas the other doesn't seem to be happy. So as much as, this crisis is brewing, could it be that, this crisis will fall apart before Buhari arrives? Or also, like the intelligence that came through yesterday says we might be getting a coup, maybe just before Buhari arrived back in Nigeria.
Well, we pray that there's no coup. We pray that we don't want that one, though. We don't want coup. I mean, if people are protesting, let them go out to protest. We want the revolution of the people. The people rising up to say we can't take anything no more. No, I mean, good is what we want. Nothing else, nothing less. Okay? But it is Starr Radio UK. Let's go back to Yomi for some of the other stories making the rounds in Nigeria. Over to you, Yomi.
Once again, this is Starr Radio UK, 11:22 a.m., the 8th of March, 2022. This is what we could call a London transport, but equivalent to, the BRT as is known, which is what the governor of the Lagos State has put out as one of their most important, transport system. Is known as the BRT. But something went wrong. This young girl was in that particular bus. She was communicating with another friend of her, but not to raise an alarm. Maybe if she has asked her to raise that alarm a little bit, maybe she could have been alive. She went missing. But because she was able to quickly give details of the vehicle she was in, which is again the Lagos State Public Transport, to a friend, the mother eventually visited, the depot to pick up the vehicle number, which was confirmed, but we couldn't find out where she was. But we can now confirm that we found out where she is because the missing lady cops recovered and the BRT driver has been arrested. Lawyer tackle Lagos State. That is the headline. So let me now go into a little bit of the story again. In Lagos State arrested. The police also say the remains of the victim has been recovered. According to Olubamisi, who closed work around 7 p.m. on February 26, was on her way to visit her brother, Pelumi, when she boarded this Lagos public rapid transit vehicle around Chevron bus stop in Lekki area of the state. The busman, Omini, was said to be conveying the victim to a destination in Oshodi when Olubamisi observed that he refused to pick other passengers on the road. She reported contact one of her colleagues at work, Felicia Omolara, to inform her about a suspicion, and she was advised to disembark from the bus. Omolara, however, noted that when her friend no longer responded to her chat on WhatsApp, she called her phone number, adding that when she picked the call, a man was arguing with Olubamisi. Olubamisi former boss, Caroline Oni, confirmed also that her corpse was recovered in that Ebutero of Lagos. This is something that we should be very, very concerned about. I know that the Lagos State Governor have responded swiftly yesterday that they will look into this. The question remains is, how could someone board a public transport in Lagos State and she end up becoming a missing person only for us to now confirm she's dead? That is something that has been very scary, and there's a lot of reaction that is coming up, on Twitter, which we'll be discussing when we go to Twitter. Let's go to some of the other headlines as well. Heavy security as Osun PDP elect governor candidate Also, you were talking about the woman right. Before I came on board. Again, woman can no longer be deprived, says Buhari. That is coming also as, again, angry women stormed the National Assembly over a rejected bill. Women in their numbers have again stormed the National Assembly following the rejection of women-related bills. The women under the ages of Nigerian women groups had last week protested against the action of the lawmakers. They had promised to return if the decision was not reversed. They made good their promises as they returned in large numbers this morning, promising to continue protest until the lawmakers bow to their demand. But it seems Buhari is saying something different. As you know that woman can no longer be deprived, says Buhari. According to the headline, the President Muhammadu Buhari on Tuesday extolled Nigerian women on occasion on visit of endeavor, but believe that they could no longer be deprived for too long as they constantly prove that they could hold their own. We would have loved to see that as the tenure of this government is winding down, Lil Shiraibu would have been found. But as we speak today, she has already given birth in the captivity of the terrorists in the country, and she's still not yet brought back to her loved one. So we hope, as we are celebrating Women's Day, we will remember Lil Shiraibu and millions of women, just as the young 21-year-old Taylor that was killed on the Lagos public transport.
Interestingly, those are some sad stories there. I mean, the treatment of women, where women who are angry are saying that, well, they are demonstrating, going to the Parliament House or where the representatives meet to protest, saying that relating to bills that relate to women that have been shelved or has not been passed. Now, the question why I just came on was that how many women are in Buhari's
ministers.
Well, yeah, how many of them?
They are not even up to 50%. So that means it's a very, very small fraction of women that he has put on board since he came in 2015.
Now, when it comes to the Congress, how many women do we have there as well?
Again, the fraction is very, very low, not even up to 50% or 50-50. We probably say maybe just a little bit because women are not given that same opportunity, as you can tell, not just in the federal, but that also happened in the state level as well.
Wow. Well, I hope that those of you listening in will also add our voices to that, because there is one educator, educationist who back in the day in Ghana, that is Dr. Kojo Agri, who says that when you educate a man, you educate an individual, but when you educate a woman, you educate a whole nation. Why? Because this woman, with educational opportunity that they have, they are able to teach their children who are going to grow up tomorrow to become whoever leaders or whatever. So it is very, very important. We need to give our support to the women. Well, Amaya says that 6% of women in Buhari's government or ministers. Earlier on said Nigeria is a lawless nation, raising Yoruba nation, Biafra nation, and other nations agitating to be out of their dungeon called Nigeria. Oh my goodness, he's come out with.
Yeah, I think the reason why people spell it in that format is because of the algorithm of Facebook that could easily penalize you. If you're saying anything against Nigeria, you can't just spelling it as NI. So a lot of people have now been able to turn things around and spell it as Nigeria rather than Nigeria. And also from here, Olatunji Professor says President Buhari will not care less with the APC is going through difficulties. President Buhari is a lame duck president. President Buhari is only interested in the Fulani being in the power. Also, coming there from Emmanuel Obiyo, Ifinichuku Paul Umba, victory for the Oduduwa Republic, victory for the Oduduwa sons and daughters home and abroad, especially the ones abroad that have, the ones abroad. Now they can now come home with the map of their own country drawn, submitted to the United Nations and AU, can now come back home and develop their own nation they proudly call their own. Now they have their own Nelson Mandela released as the new president of Oduduwa Republic. I, Chief Sunday Igboho, is free, as a lot of people are still congratulating the release of Chief Sunday Igboho.
Okay, listen to Starr Radio UK 11:31. Let's go to Yomi for the rest of the stories making the rounds. Over to you, sir.
Yes, sir. We go straight, to the business section of the news this morning, as federal government insists Nigeria has enough petrol in stock, says supply disruption and accident. I mean, again, you wonder why a country that has, a big amount of crude oil, but could not have what it takes to refine it, and that means we have to take it to other countries to help us to refine what we have in terms of the natural resources, crude itself. And I was watching a video that was posted from Libya. Libya doesn't have a stable government since Gaddafi, was taken out of power, almost 10 years ago. But a 15-liter petrol in Libya today costs 200 naira. That is not the same, because a 1 liter petrol in Nigeria, as of this morning, is going to about 300 naira per liter.
Wow.
When you multiply 300 by 15, you then ask the question, a country like Libya that doesn't, and this person did a video, to prove it, by going to the petrol station in Libya, bought the petrol for 200 naira for 15 liters, and eventually even throw it away because he said it was of no use for him. He just wanted to prove to millions of Nigerians that we are in big trouble.
Wow. Listeners, just bear with us. Go on.
So the federal government has maintained that it has enough petrol in the depot to serve the growing demand amid the growing queue across the nation. So that is coming from there. I'm going to take one more from the business, go straight into the social media, and then we come back to you in the studio. As we say, the Russia-Ukraine conflict is not just having big impact in the world. We know that there's a lot of sanction on Russia. We know there's a lot of pressure. And I heard you saying that Coca-Cola and McDonald's has not made any step to see whether they will be coming out of Russia. But what we can say is the wheat importation to Nigeria is now going to have a big impact. The invasion of Ukraine by Russia could affect Nigeria importation of wheat, a major ingredient used for the production of wide range of food, including bread, noodles, pasta, cakes, and many more, according to Gilbert. Since the inclusion of Russia military in Ukraine, the price of wheat has surged globally, exacerbating already high food prices across the globe. Russia and Ukraine put together are responsible for 14% of the global wheat production and control about 29% of the wheat export. This then goes back to, can Nigeria also grow wheat? It is possible, but you can't do so when we have those moving around as pretending to be herdsmen of criminal terrorists that have maroba all over the country, and not just in southwest, southeast, but in the northern part of the country as well, is making it very difficult, for people, to come back into farming. So that means we have to manage and bring in more of these, from Russia. But what we can say is the impact of this fight is going to have impact already in a country that remains the capital poverty of the world. So again, I go straight to the social media so that we can wrap it up quickly. It's 11:34 a.m. It is Starr Radio UK, the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. There is 4 things that is trending. The International Women's Day is trending, as we know. Break the Bias is also trending. Number 3 is also International Women's Day, and these are what is trending in Nigeria. But number 4 is now coming on hashtag Justice for Bamisa. And we do know that, like I said, he traveled on the Lagos transport system, but he never made it through on that journey. He was eventually killed. And that is exactly why there's justice for Bamisa. According to the International Council for Yoruba Rights, God forbid that the abomination whereby a Yoruba is constrained to speak Fulani or Hausa before being deployed to key posts in military, custom, and police, or was before obtaining scholarship to study abroad. Does that mean Yorubas are working with head? No, and never. Yoruba nation now. And we do know that a lot of people that wants to go into the military in Nigeria, you must know somebody, especially from the northern part of the country, that have more influence for you to enable you to get gain into that as well. Also, we saw SOWORE yesterday was arrested. He was released. It also seems that SOWORE will continue, to be one person that we continue to again seek for his his freedom since he's been in Abuja. But we saw that he was arrested, but I can confirm that he has been released again. So let me quickly get back again to some of the other social media before coming back again to you in the studio. The magnitude of the congratulation messages, coming from all over the world, and even in the southwest of Nigeria, makes it look like definitely, the importance of Igboho was very, very vital and key. And like I said, according to if I balance the equation, these two people are the only ones speaking the language I want to be hearing. Self-determination is our human right. Nigeria must break. I come back now to you in the studio.
Well, listeners, Mr. Olayomi Kojo bringing us updates from Nigeria, and it's been quite an interesting discuss this morning, and I hope that you are enjoying it, or you've enjoyed it as well. Don't you go away at all. But Amaya has posted another comment there. So Nigeria is a business empire for politicians. For the politicians. Well, do you agree with him or not? Well, let me ask you these questions as well, as many of you who are listening to us. Now, with the release of Chief Sunday Igboho, do you think that all that the federal government has to do now is, we want to know about that? Will that satisfy everyone in the country? And then, because I think that if something of the sort is given, that opportunity is given, and after that, we decide that we go to the polls and we find out that, well, we want to leave, then fine. Or we don't want to, majority say, we don't want to leave, then fine. Then we cannot say, okay, let's rest our cases, and then let's see what is going to happen the next few years. But whatever it is, do you think that would serve you? That would satisfy you? Do you think referendum is the way forward for us now with whatever is happening in the country at the moment? Amayo says, SOWORE is a force that give headache to the power that be a Nigeria, and it's a referendum on the way. Well, he is our supporting the referendum. So what do you think? I want to know why you think there. Put your comments there. But Yomi, a quick one. What did SOWORE do for him to be arrested?
Well, there's a particular case in terms of a reporting that he did, I believe, on their media that has led to this particular person, Ned Nwoko, that is pushing a case against him, and that is the reason why he was arrested again yesterday. But like I said, he was released. But I saw him going back to the local court again this morning. But I don't have the full details of what is happening. But yes, it was a report between himself, a Sarah reporter, and this particular individual that lives as well in Abuja.
Okay, listeners, it's been a pleasure once again. Yomi, let me say thank you very much for the wonderful updates.
Thank you once again. And again, thank you to those of you that have listened to us this morning on Starr Radio UK. Good morning to you, Wumi. Praise, good morning to each and every one of you, Yogi, and the rest of the people that are listening to us, especially spending a lot of data from Nigeria. Would like to appreciate you. I'll be back again same time tomorrow. But for now, I say have a very good morning. Stay tuned for the rest of the program. Bye from this end.
Bye-bye, Yomi. Thank you very much. Well, listeners, you are still tuning to Starr Radio UK. The program goes on. And let me announce this. This afternoon, exactly at 1:30, BB Clement is going to come your way with BB Means Business. And today, she's going to be looking at how to build great teams. How to build great teams. I mean, you look at what went on with Sunday Igboho. It's a great team that is around him that has moved, because he was incarcerated. He could have been cut there. But when you have great teams around you, you are able to move. And that is why most people call for unity, because in unity there is strength. Okay? But what do you think? Or do you think that you got everything that it takes? Well, BB Clement will be coming your way with BB